What in the zippity doo just happened? I'm like still like scratching my head. Like we did it. That was almost like Seinfeld. Loki episode 5, season 2, titled Science Fiction, was basically a show about nothing. What happened? We have as many answers now as when the episode began. So basically, we just went in a circle. And we wound up right back where we started. We have no idea why things are splintering. Well, we saw Jonathan Majors' character, Victor Tomley, splinter and turn into ribbons at the end of the... Like, why is anything left? And then it says TVA failsafe mode activated. I think it said code 1229. What is that? Guess what? The episode is over. We still don't know what that is. Why is Loki the only one that's not affected, or the only one that doesn't ribbon? We don't know. Still don't know. And I'm almost certain that when Casey saw Loki on the beach when he was escaping Alcatraz, he recognized him. I'm almost certain that he did. Either that, or maybe he was just playing a game. I don't know, because he fooled me. Because I was like, oh, he does recognize him. He's like, why are we calling you Frank? He's like, so it seemed like he knew who Loki was. But Mobius didn't know who he was. B-15 didn't know who he was. Why does Sylvie... More questions without answers. Why is Sylvie's vortex manipulator still working? Why is she able to open time doors when it looks like time just imploded in the last episode? And Ouroboros makes a time portal in 18 months. So in 1996, he said 18 months, he's able to make a time portal. What in the... I'm gonna grade this episode right now. This episode gets a B-. And I'm gonna give it B- because I was intrigued the entire episode up until the lack of climax. And this was just like a special effects-a-thon. Basically, Loki and the crew were just bouncing around just because. We don't know why. Like I said, we still don't know what the failsafe is for the TVA, code 1229. We don't know why Sylvie's able to... I think she went back to Broxton, Oklahoma in 1982. Why is she able to use time-traveling technology? When Loki can't even... And at the end of the episode, he's able to control this stuff. How? Is that the failsafe that he's like this time-traveling being now? Like he's the essence? Like this episode was in the dumps. I mean, I know I gave it a B-, but that lack of conclusion was just awful. So far, this season has been misfit. Misses all around. 2, 3, 5 misses. And not a lady, misses, but to me, 1 and 4 are the only ones that hit. Ouroboros, episode 1, episode 1, and Heart of the TVA, episode 4. This last one, such a disappointment, B- again. What did we learn? And this is going to be a very brief video because there's nothing to talk about. I mean, it's miraculously... I mean, not miraculously, but of course, Mobius was going to have something to do with jet skis because he was talking about that earlier in the season. I don't know why Casey is a criminal trying to flee Alcatraz. Maybe B-15 was... I don't remember her from season 1 much. Ouroboros has like a TVA in an abandoned factory where he's writing science fiction books because it's shaped just like one of the major like hallways of the TVA. So I'm like, what's going on? And then Ouroboros tells him, this science fiction writer, not even a scientist. No, he did have a degree in theoretical physics. He did say that at Caltech. But he said maybe it's not science, maybe it's fiction. Maybe it's just the power of your mind. So conveniently, I guess the power of Loki's mind said, I don't want this to happen. And it didn't? I don't. I know they couldn't do rewrites because of the WGA Writers Guild of America strike, so they couldn't do any rewrites. So Jonathan Majors being written out probably can't possibly happen because they couldn't do rewrites. So I was wrong for last week. But it's like there's no logic to this episode. There's and maybe that's why it's fiction, I guess, because it's not supposed to be logical. But Sylvie sets her McDonald's stuff on her truck. It splinters. She doesn't notice. She just realizes it's gone afterwards. It's like almost like Thanos' snap, except in turning to the dust, they're turning into like spaghetti. Then inside where'd she go? It's like a music store or a bookstore where the black guy was at the desk. Another guy's walking in. I think he splinters. The black guy sees it. Everything's splintering around him. It takes him like, I don't know, a few seconds to realize that everything's spaghetti. He like runs towards Sylvie. Sylvie! She heard him with the music blasting. And then she goes up to the edge of the threshold of the door behind her. Everything's splintering. And she just opens a portal and goes right where Loki is. How? 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 This season of Loki, series, season 2, excuse me, vast disappointment. Vast. And I had such high hopes for it with the first episode, with the season opener of Ouroboros. I had such hopes, but we've done nothing this season. Nothing. I always feel like Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. Nothing. I have no answers. I don't know anything. I don't have the answers, Sway. I don't have the answers.